Hey everyone, this is Isuchi2. Just wanted to hop online for a couple of minutes and discuss kind of why I decided to choose the power bar system over the health bar system. I know there were a couple of questions / some controversy on why I made that decision, but I just wanted to discuss why there is a power bar here instead of a health-based system and why the health-based system won't work with my style of gameplay. So I did also want to first start and say thank you to everyone who has given me positive feedback so far on Teaser 4. It's been incredible. That's my heart. So hearing you guys' excitement about it and hearing your ideas, your comments on it has been everything to me. That's kind of my reward. This is not a paid project. It's a fan idea. I don't want to, get any copyright issues. So this is just a free hobby that I do. So this is my reward, is hearing you guys' responses. And so thank you so much for that. Please continue. Anything, comment, let me know. I read every comment and I try to respond to everyone as soon as I can. But let's go ahead and hop in. I don't have a lot of time here. So the biggest reason why I'm adding in the power bar is mainly to make the battles and fights in my game more like the anime. I want this game to feel as much like the anime as possible. I don't want to make just another Classic Ninja game or another Naruto game. I want to truly make the best Naruto fighting experience that is available if possible. I don't have to worry about waiting on a developer to hear us or do anything like that. I am the developer. I can do whatever I want. I don't have anybody else helping with this. It's just me. I have full liberty to make this however I want to. So with that said, the two main reasons why I'm doing the power system is to enable, the main reason is to enable high-level battles. That is a term used in Naruto to kind of describe those bigger battles that are more than just simple taijutsu. So it enables bigger battles, those high-level battles, by incorporating transformations and those bigger jutsu that were used kind of towards the end of Shippuden, like Bijou Bombs, Perfect Susanos, those kinds of things. These are things that were never really featured in Clash of Ninja very well. Like, you had some transformations, but they skipped a lot because just the way those transformations work would not fit in a Clash Ninja game. That's why we have characters like Ultimate Nine-Tailed Naruto and Curse Mark Level 2 Sasuke who are overpowered because the way you do those characters doesn't work in a Clash Ninja game that's health-based. Like, you can include them as upgrades in the game, and you also having them as second characters, they tend to be overpowered. Storm runs into a similar issue where you have 17 different Narutos and Sasukes to kind of cover each level basically every time they got a power buff, and that it's not fun, when I have to pick, do I want to be able to use Sasuke's Mangekyo Sharingan, or do I want to be able to use his Eternal Mangekyo like Susanoo? You have to pick these things before you go into battle, and I'm like, it kind of defeats the whole point of making a fighting game, a Naruto game with characters. If we just have to stick to how they fought in the show, like for a specific moment, like, oh, you can choose between the Sasuke in episode 23, or you can fight as the Sasuke in episode 72. I just want to fight as Sasuke in general, not have to pick which version or episode I want to use. So that's why I want to be able to enable the power bar. So let's dive right into transformations. In Clash of Ninja, let's take PTS Naruto. In Clash of Ninja Revolution 2, PTS Naruto could not transform at the beginning because Nine-Tails is not something you can control. You have to be kind of in a crisis, kind of low health state. So when you reach 40% of health, this Naruto could transform into the Nine-Tailed version of Naruto. So the same one that fought Haku, that went against Orochimaru in the Chunin exams, that Naruto. And that requires you to be at 40% health, and then you can activate that. The problem with that is by the time you reach 40% health, the round's pretty much over. You can't do a whole lot with 40% health. You may can execute a special or two, but you only get to use the character for a little bit of time before the round ends by either you dying or them dying. You don't really get to utilize the character that much, which is why they decided to make his second transformation, the one-tailed version that went up against Sasuke at the end of part 1, they made that a separate character because there would not have been enough time for this Naruto to upgrade to the Kyuubi form and then to the one-tailed form and still had any time left in the battle to use the character. So they opted to make it a second character, which causes problems. It is a power buffed character, so it ended up just being overpowered. They tried to balance it, but you can't make a stronger character that's designed to be a power-up weaker to support a roster. It just doesn't work without losing the value of having it as a character. So in my game, how I'll fix that is it will be just one character. Naruto will be able to transform to the Nine-Tailed Fox version once he's low on health, and there will still be time for him to go into the ultimate Nine-Tailed with the One Tails through the power system. So let me move. So you'll see this kind of marker right here in the middle. This marks what I call the threshold. The threshold determines basically who's winning and who's losing. So at this point, this Naruto here is winning. This is what I would refer to as being in the lead. He is overpowering this Naruto, who has no points as of this moment. So at this moment, this Naruto's in the lead. He cannot transform into the Nine-Tailed Fox. This version of Naruto is in crisis mode because he is past the threshold, so he can transform into the Nine-Tails. So let's say he did transform and he fights back. You know, he gets that power boost, and he fights back. He actually still has a big fighting chance because the more he fights, you see that? It gives him more power. So you can actually use this character to win the fight, and you get to utilize him fully and use specials. So now at this point, this Naruto is in crisis, and he is in the lead. So he cannot go into the One-Tailed version. He's in Nine-Tailed, and that's all he needs right now to win the fight. He's winning. This Naruto is having struggles now. So now this Naruto can now power up into the QB because he's in crisis mode. So let's say he were to power up, and now they're both in QB, and he starts to fight back. Now this player is in trouble again. He's in crisis again. After having taken over, he's now back in crisis, even after powering up. And this Naruto is winning. So now we can enter the One-Tailed QB form because we're being pressured into it. And that's how power-ups will work in my game. They actually are power buffs, and they still remain balanced because it's only something you can unlock when you need to. And getting down to that kind of level of health, once you're past the threshold, I mean, a special jutsu can end the battle. So it's not like, oh yeah, I'll get low so I can transform. Getting low to transform actually is very risky. You actually don't want to do that. But if you do end up getting that low on health, it gives you that ability to go ahead and, you know, say, hey, I'm losing this fight. I need that extra bit of power. Let me go ahead. I have full chakra. I can now transform into my One-Tailed QB form, and now I'm destroying them, you know. So that's how the power system works and why I included it. For a further example in the future, this will enable me to have, I'm limiting my Shippuden Naruto's and Sasuke's to only 3. I think Ultimate Ninja has like 7. I will only need 3. The first Naruto will cover basically all of Naruto with an uncontrolled QB. That means he will have access to the One-Tailed QB in Shippuden that went up against Deidara, the 3-tailed QB Shippuden, which went up against Orochimaru, the 4-tailed version, which went up against Orochimaru and Pain, and the 6-tailed version, which went up against Pain. All of those forms will be accessible to just one Naruto. And again, same story. It's based on when you need it. So if you can't just jump into a battle and say, I need to go 6 tails and destroy them. No, you have to be pressured into that just like the anime. So if you have that super strong Pain character that's destroying you, go ahead and level up to, let's jump to 4. I think you can skip one. So you can jump straight to 3 tails. If 3 tails isn't enough, jump to 4 tails. If 4 tails isn't enough, jump to 6 tails. And if that's not enough, you're just a terrible player. But you see that it's this kind of high-level battle going on of this back-and-forth volley, which leads me to the second level on how I'm going to handle this. Obviously, when you keep doing this, you just keep going back and forth. The round may drag on, and that's when you'll get the opportunity to do a finishing chance for a finisher. So a finisher is going to be a cinematic jutsu that is a one-hit KO. It does require you to be on the other side, past the threshold though. So for example, let's say in this fight, this Naruto is losing, but the battle's been going on for a while now. They just keep going back and forth. So at this moment right here, as soon as he crosses the threshold, at any time on this side of the threshold, this Naruto would be able to execute a finishing attack, which would be a one-hit kill. This would be a usually like 20 to 40 second long cutscene of some kind of ultimate jutsu. So for PTS Naruto's case, this could be the Vermilion Rasengan that I used at the end of part 1 against Sasuke. Super powerful, you don't get up from that. Shippuden Naruto could be Rasen Shuriken. You don't get up from that. Sasuke could be Kirin, from before he got his Mangekyo Sharingan. He could do Kirin. Itachi's would be the Totsuka Blade. You seal them, they're gone. It doesn't just take out a percentage of health and say, okay, 40%, you're done. No, this kills you instantly. The battle's over. So, and these will give you the opportunity to include those bigger jutsu that would normally be overpowered. Instead of just having an overpowered jutsu that takes out health, these would actually be overpowered jutsu that do their job. They end the battle. So I'll be able to incorporate more jutsu into the game that are from the anime and stay true to their original nature. Like a Bijou Bomb would actually kill you. It's not just a lot of health, it kills you when you execute the Bijou Bomb. But at the same time, it's not something you can typically use frequently. It's a one and done thing. It's your final attack. Your Deidara's could be C4, where he blows himself up. You win the battle, but you don't keep fighting after you do a C4. So that way you can incorporate C4 into the game and stay true to the anime. So that's why I added a power system. That kind of stuff does not work on a health-based system. It doesn't. And the health-based, you just can't have those high-level fights. So that's why I opted for the power bar. It gives me, the ability to have those high-level battles of being able to include many transformations. I'll be able to include, Sasuke's curse mark level 2 in both younger and Shippuden forms. I already have the models for both. I'll be able to include all of Naruto's QB transformations in one fight. Can you imagine a battle where it took that much? The battle was so strong. Imagine watching that. The battle's so strong in-game that they pushed you to having to unlock the six-tailed QB version of Naruto. That'd be an incredible fight. Don't you think? So I don't want to do that stuff that Storm does, where you have to pick, do you want to have a Naruto that can do 4 tails, or do you want to have a Naruto that can do 6 tails? But the Naruto that can do 6 tails can't use Rasen Shuriken. I hate that. I just want to be able to pick Naruto and go use Naruto's moves. So that's how I want it to work in my game, and that's why I need the power system.